I know where there's some, right here in the hall, clerk.
No, Molly, not in there. I have
Hello. Before I start recapping this, I'm going to run a couple of other tests. I wanted to see if this looks funny because I have the speaker covered with cardboard. The speaker is in perfect shape, and the last thing I want to do is poke a hole in it with my fat thumb, so it's covered in cardboard. But I want to test the audio output transformer, which is right here. And then I want to go ahead and test the continuity in the IF coils to make sure those are working okay. So to test the audio transformer and speaker, I want to use a technique that I learned from Electronics Old and New, a guy who has his YouTube channel out of Madeira in Portugal. I've looked that place up on Google Earth and it looks fantastic. So anyway, he's a very methodical engineer, and this is one of the things he does, is to test this combination using a signal generator. And I have my old leader here. You know, I usually use it for RF testing, but it's perfectly capable. It has a internal oscillator, 1 kilohertz sine wave with output here, banana jack output. It does about 2.7 volts AC, which isn't a lot, but that's more than enough to power the primary of the audio transformer. So I'll hook this all up and we'll see how it goes. Okay, what we're going to do here is connect right across the primary leads of the audio output transformer here across this cap. And in looking around in here, the easiest way I see to do that is to grab right here this end of the filter cap for one side, and then the other side as the other end of this C16.02 cap right there. So if we inject a signal in here and there, puts it across the primary, we should hear a tone. So let's see what happens. All of that's the all right, here is one end of the audio transformer that comes into the end of the filter cap right here. So one end of my lead will go there, and then the other side of the audio transformer is under this what was it, a 0.02 cap right here, which is back in there. So I should turn this on, and we should hear a tone when I do this. And there it is. So our audio output section is fine as far as the transformer and the speaker are concerned. Now we'll move on to the IF coils. The next thing to do is to check out our two IF transformers here. When I first looked at this, I thought one had been replaced because of its odd numbering. I thought this one was correct. It says 455 kilocycles. And I looked at this one over here, and it said 919 kilocycles. Well, it turns out I was reading it wrong. It's part number 95-919, 455 kilocycles. And they both look original. They both look like they've been there forever. So now we need to check them out, see if they're okay. Now that we know the audio transformer is okay, we'll see if these guys are okay as well. They're right here on the schematic. Here's the first IF, here's the second IF. The local oscillator is down here, so we'll test that as well. But each of these give impedances. You should see 15 ohms across the primary and secondary of the first IF, and about 30 ohms across the primary and secondary of the second IF. The oscillator coil should be 75 ohms on one side and 9 ohms on the secondary. So we'll check that out, see how it looks. And so unfortunately with a radio this simple, they're really easy to get to. The wires for both the IF cans come right out from there. So they'll be easy to connect to. So the first IF can, we might have to check that out. Yeah, the first IF transformer is nearest the outside of the box. So that's this one. So let's see what we get for, that's the red lead and the white-blue lead coming out of there. So there's the red lead. There's the, looks like, yeah, it's got a kink in it. So the red lead is here, white-blue lead is here. Boy, I can't get myself in the way here. I'll have to move this to over here. So red lead is here, blue lead is here, and we get 23 ohms. And that should be, according to the schematic, that should be 15. Well, this trimmer is not shorted, otherwise it'd be less than 15. We'll see if the other side is the same measurement. That is the black lead and the white-green lead. So I'll get my head in the way again. Black lead goes here, and the white-green lead goes here. Come on, hands. .6. So the resistance for those two coils, the primary and secondary, are virtually the same. I'm going to assume they're okay unless we run across something later on. So we'll go on to the second IF transformer, and which is this one. And the leads are white-blue for the primary and red. So let me pick those up. There's the white. Where's the, oh, is that the red? It's funny how colors fade so much with these old cloth-wrapped wires. And sometimes they're very hard to ID. Let's see, where else does that go? I can't see that. It goes to pin, the white with blue one goes to pin 8 of the 12 SK7. Pin 8, which is right there. The red one goes here. Is that right? Looks like it. Tubes are out, by the way. And here. 33 ohms again. Let me pause for a second. Check this wiring to make sure I know what. And that is correct. It should be, the schematic calls for it to be 30 ohms, and it's 33, so that's okay. On the other side, the secondary side is black wire and white-green. So the black wire goes there, and the white-green. White-green goes to pin 1, 2, 3, 4 of the SQ7. which is wrong tube locator. Yeah, pin 4 of the SQ7, which is right here. It's a little crowded in there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be this lead, and then the black one, just back here. That's 31.9. So that looks pretty good. I think there's nothing wrong there. Again, the first IF transformer is a bit higher than it should be, but we'll see if that makes any difference. And finally, we'll move on to the oscillator coil. See how that looks. 75 ohms on the primary side. That's this guy right here. And this corner. And we should see 75 ohms from the slate lead to the white-blue lead. Slate, white, and blue is here. Is that white, blue? Pin K to the cathode. Of 6SA7, just here. So pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one and this late one. That calls 1.1 ohms, which isn't. Oh, I misread it. The very fine print for this guy right here says 0.75 ohms. So I'll take 1. And on the other side, that's the white-green lead and the white-brown lead. And those are right here. And those should be around 9 ohms. 7 even. So I'll take that too. So it looks like the transformers in this super simple radio are fine. A little worried about the high resistance for the first IF transformer, but again, not terribly worried. So we've shown that the audio stage minus tubes, the audio stage works. The second IF transformer looks good. The first IF transformer is probably good. Local oscillator is probably good. So the next step is for me to get busy swapping out capacitors. I'm going to change all the capacitors. Yeah, I think all of them. Yeah, they're all waxy. Little waxy caps. So I'm going to change all the capacitors. And while I'm going to check out the resistors as well. So, next video, this should be recapped and a little safer than this. Going to add a fuse as well. Fuse and a new safety cap. Till next time, see ya.